but I just think Quan isn't a good character. Why? And I could give two shits about Madrigal. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Master Chief's ass. I didn't expect that. What the fuck is this? I'm really confused on what they're gonna do. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Halo PODST Season 2, Episode 3. Is it Visegrad? Is that how they're saying it?
Visegrad?
Yes. I thought it was Visegrad, but whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, we're episode 3.
I don't know. It sounded Russian, like Stalingrad. Just Visegrad.
Yeah. Because I want to get into spoiler-free thoughts, and then we'll break down the episode and talk about it.
Spoilers.
Off the top of our heads here, spoiler-free. What do we feel about this episode, Sparks? What did you think?
How do I feel about it? It's convenient, frustrating. Altogether, though, not bad.
No.
It definitely feels like one of those down episodes before we hit a climactic high. Like we've kind of been doing this in waves.
And honestly, I don't have a problem with this being a slower episode, knowing that episode 4 is going to be such a big.
Oh no, it's the one they've been talking about, the one they've been hyping up. So
the big mid-season epic fight scene that's going to be seemingly like one take.
And this one sets up. It's very. In not the same way as the first season, it's very drama-laden. There's a lot of interpersonal drama going on because it's, setting up for all of that before some giant redemptive swing. But that's, again, like bordering on spoilerific territory. It's just, again, it's a very down episode coming from 1 and 2, or hell, even just 1, which had our great fight sequence, and then 2, which was kind of, still teetering down, and then we're going to get a wild, erratic swing up for the 4 just to really kind of supercharge everything.
Mm-hmm. And this is the thing that sucks about it being weekly, but it's just because I think that was a smart way to end that episode and build to episode 4. I agree that overall, I don't think it. We were just talking about it before we started recording. It was like that first season is so mediocre to bad that most of what is happening in the second season, even when it is slow and it's kind of doing the things that we didn't like from the first season, it's still better written, I feel like, in this season than the first season.
It doesn't suffer from a lot of the same problems, which feels like really ham-fisted drama, especially weird relationship stuff or some weird subterfuge. It's all very surface level. Although this one, we're still kind of bordering on some people with some mysterious intentions that really aren't that mysterious. I don't know. I have complicated feelings in part on a lot of the things that they've been doing in these last couple episodes and the things they've been setting up to be paid off here. They're iffy to me.
I was actually surprised at how focused this episode is on Ackerman, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. We'll get into spoilers, but I think that I didn't mind the more lenient towards the drama aspect of it, mostly because I think I like Ackerman's character, and you get a little bit of a. I think it's interesting that they try and play up a little bit of sympathy for him, because at the end of the day, in this episode, you're still going to think that Halsey is still the main villain, and she is. And I think they do.
Well, other than the Covenant.
Other than the Covenant, yes. She's the human villain, I should say. So, yeah, let's just jump into it, man. Let's break down this episode.
Yeah. it starts as most episodes do, where Silver Team is traveling off to, Visegrad, that Reach outpost where Cobalt had apparently had run off to, or been discovered to have run off to at the end of episode 2.
And can I say something about how this is where I have weird complaints with this show. Well, on one hand, we said in the season 1 recap where it was like, okay, we're not going to complain about him not wearing a helmet the whole time. We understand that. But then I see the scenes from the first the first episode, and I see scenes here where I'm like, these guys, like, he can perfectly emote with his helmet on. You know what I mean? I just feel like I've noticed more in this season that they worked more with, like, having the actors express more in the suits or be more comfortable expressing themselves more in the suits. And while it's not an action piece, I just feel like even in this we saw more character.
Well, it's a difficult balance to strike. There is getting someone to emote without seeing their face, but at the same time not not overdoing it. So I can see the difficulties.
Yeah, not overacting and being cartoonish.
Yeah. Although speaking of cartoonish, back to so we get down to the Visegrad region, and we get this really, like, weird, ominous feeling because they're not getting any response from Cobalt or the comm relay. It's just, static. So that's going on, and while that's going on, we also keep, like, cutting back to Reyes, who apparently just, like, fell asleep trying to transcode that weird message.
Man, what a weirdly edited sequence.
It is. They made some choices. I'll say that much.
I get what they were trying to do, but even while it's happening, I was still like, wait a minute, are they going to do this? They can't be doing that. Are they doing this? Like, I don't think it was conveyed well.
Mm-hmm. So they get to the comm relay and just fucking nobody's there. I guess the power's down, and even somebody's lunch is just sitting there, and you get, Vanek, who comments that, they must have left in a hurry, which is actually really weird to me. The reason I say that is because, they kick on the power, and you get the same mysterious garbled noise that Reyes was working on and what Chief heard on Sanctuary. And, like, I've never heard anything like this. I heard it on Sanctuary. Like, yeah, we get it, man. You guys have been kind of beating that drum for a minute. Yeah. But what's weird to me is we
changed him, man.
But what's weird to me is we know that this is that same outpost that the Covenant were seen invading at the end of episode 2, where they found the cradle. Mm-hmm. We know that Cobalt disappeared somewhere around here, but where the fuck are the bodies? Like, motherfuckers were just getting slayed left and right.
Everybody left in a hurry, but where are the bodies?
Yeah, they left so fast they just, scarpered off a bunch of fucking corpses. I don't understand. So then, they hear this door banging, and Chief goes down to inspect. And when they get to the door, fucking O&I jackboots just make their presence known out of nowhere, which is very interesting to me because on one hand, they knew that he was going there. I don't think it was much of a mystery because I don't think he, actually tried to hide the condor that he was flying. Mm-hmm. But also, how far behind were they? And again, where the hell are the bodies? Is this like some weird O&I thing where, like, they set people ahead to clean up to make it look like nothing happened, and then left, and then saw the Chief was coming here and came back? I'm really...
Yeah, I don't know why they took so long to make their presence known, because it doesn't until they're about to open the door.
Very convenient, dramatic timing.
Yeah.
So it was really funny. I don't know what the hell's going on there. So then Chief goes down, or the jackboots come down, and then actually one really funny line that actually came up here, and I thought it was, like, cartoonishly written. The leader of that O&I squad is like, I can't even describe the amount of shit you're in. And Kai being the fucking Chad she is. Like, I can't even describe what's about to happen to your face. What?
Yeah.
What? Who wrote that line?
Good stuff.
That's like season 1 level writing there, guys. Who says that?
Yeah.
It's like a 7th grader comeback there. Well, yeah, your face. Oh my god.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
But
I will say I appreciate that they were trying to go for something there. They were trying to build some tension, give a little, horror elements, because there are that with the flood and things like that. There is that in the Halo lore. So
just not here.
It was nice to see them kind of play that up a little bit, but it was just weirdly edited because this door was like stuck. It was like ajar. It kept tapping open and shut.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, it's cut to where Perez is tapping her finger on the table because she fell asleep trying to transcribe the Covenant audio.
Her finger tap is matching the rhythm of the door.
So, and that's what I'm like, what are we trying to say here? And that, because like in my head for a minute, I'm like, are they trying to say she's causing the door problems and she's somehow like telepathically connected to that? Because that's kind of weird. And then another thing was like, or are we just trying to be cute with the editing?
I think they're just like trying to build dramatic tension.
Yeah. And I get what they were doing, but I just, at first, because they've already done some really weird things, like, I don't know, make Master Chief have sex with that woman. So I'm up for, I think anything could happen.
Sure. So then,
I'm never going to let him forget that.
So then Chief opens the door and nothing's there, but he's like, they were here. I can prove it. Okay. You want to make with the proving?
Go.
Yeah.
Floor's yours, buddy.
Yeah, no, go for it. So then it's, it's kind of revealed there that, this wasn't an official mission and FleetCom has been sent to bring them back because, they're in a shitload of trouble because, Chief kind of just went rogue here. It's kind of weird because, they're doing this whole, the mission was fabricated and he lied to his squad and now their faith and trust in him is broken. And it's really kind of just like pulling them apart before bringing them back together, later on in the season. Like,
I will say, I did enjoy that scene because of the conversation with Keyes where he's like, did you even try to defend us? And he's like, I'm the only reason you're not court-martialed right now.
Yeah, that was a weirdly cheap shot in the moment.
Yeah, because he's like, motherfucker, you stole but it was even funnier because it was after him explaining everything that he did. Like, you fucking stole a ship, you took your armor, which you're not supposed to do, and you went rogue and did your own personal mission when you were told to be grounded. You should be court-martialed, dickhead. Like,
oh yeah. Well, what's really funny to me though is that while he's explaining everything, they're doing this whole thing, and I feel like I don't know what they're trying to do here. Like, is ONI just like trying to gaslight Chief for some reason? Because like he goes like, oh, Cobalt, they disappeared, and then Keyes pulls up their flight plan, and they went somewhere completely different. He's like, no, they changed it. Like, what does this accomplish? Like,
yeah.
We know, the audience
knows.
No,
I think that was what ONI is trying to do. They're trying to make him seem like, because, yeah, we'll get to it later in the episode, but we have this conversation with Ackerman and Kai later that, again, I think, yeah, that was their intention, was to gaslight him and to think that he's going insane, that he was, like, clearly still affected by the artifact and all that shit from season 1.
And I don't see their point. This doesn't make any sense.
I'm stumbling over my words. You know what it feels like? It feels like evil like they're just like, well, they have to be the evil opposing thing, so they're just evil. And they do evil things to be evil.
Like, they are going to such great lengths to gaslight him. Like I said, back over at Visegrad, like, all of the bodies were gone, and we saw a fucking massacre happen. So we know, A, that McKee is back, B, that the Covenant has been on Reach, and that Cobalt is fucking dead. But they're, like, doing everything they can to, like, just destroy and erode any faith in him for some reason. And, maybe it ties back to this idea that, they know that the Covenant's coming and they're not trying to cause a panic. So if you bring Master Chief in, obviously they're going to want to try to fight, which O&I doesn't want to do. And it blows my mind. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it I don't know.
Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Well, I think I know we kind of try and stick to what's happened in the episode, but I think it's an Ackerman thing. I think Ackerman has a serious vendetta against Halsey and a serious vendetta against the Spartans, and I think he wants to tear them down by tearing down John.
That must be it, because that's the only rational.
That's the only explanation, because like you just pointed out, everything else would be fucking dumb.
Beyond dumb, because there are so many resources you're committing to this, what feels like a prank. I don't understand. But the long and short,
then to get fucking Keys, who was so remorseful about things that happened in that first season, to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take it for its fucking word because they're my boss. And it's like, did you learn nothing?
Yeah, I don't get it. But long and short is, Chief gets benched until he gets a psych eval, which leads to a moment that I kind of thought was going to be better and was still kind of good. So he gets into an elevator with two Marines who are going to take him to his psych eval. And in the back of my head, I'm like, holy shit, are we going to get a Winter Soldier moment here with Chief and two Marines? No, we didn't. But it was still pretty good because he just took them out.
Yes, it was effective because it showed just, again, how fucking useless the Marines are and how much stronger the Spartans are.
Okay, so I don't want to get too far into spoilers, but that actually is really funny to me because we had a moment at the end.
I thought we were already in the spoiler areas.
We're not way ahead of where we're at in the story. So that moment, way later on when he's done talking to Parangosky, and he's getting up to leave.
Man,
and
what the fuck was that? I was like, come on.
Well, and what's really funny to me is, though,
what a tease.
But what's funny to me is, as he's getting up to leave, all these other people are gonna, they jump up like they're gonna fucking try to fight him. I'm like, are you insane?
It's the Master Chief, dude.
He's a not even just not even.
He's a Spartan.
He's a goddamn Spartan. What are you gonna do?
He's genetically modified
to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
So no.
Put that on a T-shirt.
All of that goes on. So Chief decides to go rogue by not going to his psych eval, and then we kind of cut. So like episode 2, we're doing this whole thing where we're kind of cutting around a bunch of multiple plot lines that'll all kind of converge later on. We cut to Riz, and she's kind of, after this betrayal by Chief, quote unquote, she's kind of feeling adrift, and she's really kind of reflecting on what Lewis was talking about, the former Spartan, about having a life after being a Spartan.
Also, time out real fast. I feel like Riz and Vanek can eat shit if they're going to be mad at Master Chief for lying to them.
Honestly, I don't know how.
After they had a fucking drag-out brawl with him in the first season.
Honestly,
and we're going to probably kill him at a different episode, too.
Honestly, I don't know how Vanek feels. We really haven't covered him at all.
Yeah, that's the one. So far, they have kind of dropped the ball with him. Back to where we are in this, the episode. Again, I like the Riz stuff. I like that she is, again, talking to, I can't remember his name. The guy that...
Lewis?
What?
Lewis,
that's right, yeah. That scene with him and his husband and just them having dinner together, I was like, I again enjoy that.
Well, that was actually kind of interesting because they never really directly addressed that one in season 2. So apparently he's in some sort of relationship with the masseur that he sent Riz to. And I don't even know that she was aware of it, because when she, decided to go to Lewis's house, he happened to be there, and they started referring to each other with, affectionate terms.
Babe and...
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, okay. Whatever.
I don't think she thought that either. Yeah.
I'm sure there's certain social media personalities out there who will get in a fucking huffy about it, but, oh fucking well. But
they will, because they made X-Men woke.
Yeah, because you don't understand X-Men at all.
Because X-Men was never woke ever.
Yeah, but anyway,
I digress.
But anyways, she's basically just pondering life, after being a Spartan. So that's going on, and she's kind of just dealing with all of that. And there's not a lot to say there. It's kind of just following where episode 2 was taking. It's just kind of growing that. So cutting away, big reveal. The cobalt bodies were found days ago, and they've been brought to Reach.
Again, what does this, like you're saying, how does this help your situation at all? At all, ONI. Like, why would you hide this? And then when we see the bodies, Ackerman says, no, we're going to say they're missing. We're not going to report their death. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why?
Like I said, I think he's just like trying not to cause like some sort of mass panic, because I guess they're not going to be able to evacuate everybody, and they don't want to fight because he's run all the simulations with Cortana, and everything ends up with Reach falling. It's like, okay.
And again, Key's showing backbone, being like, hey, this isn't a fucking simulation. We need to solve this.
Oh, yeah. No, turns out the entire time Keyes has been in the dark. Everyone above Keyes knew what was going on. So, like, especially after he, just got done tearing Chief a new asshole. Oh, hey, look at that. Who's the asshole now?
Yeah. And this whole time, John was actually trying to prevent all of this. But,
Well, but, suits are suits.
I got to say, I feel like, again, it just feel like ONI, you could say the whole panic thing, but it really does feel like ONI is just being evil to be evil for like evil corporation.
Mm-hmm.
I like it still. I like Ackerman.
Yeah, well, Ackerman asks Keyes, if he can count on him, because he's basically, trying to get him in line and, get him to evacuate, because they've already evacuated all the essential assets, basically your higher-ups and your rich people.
And, yeah, that's where Keyes says, this is my home, and then Ackerman says, it's my home, too.
Well, yeah, we'll touch on him and his home here in a minute, because there's a weird little a little subplot he's got going on that I don't know.
This was his episode, man. I think
I actually feel like his subplot there was a little ham-fisted. But anyway, so Keyes basically, when Ackerman asks him if he can count on him, Keyes tells him to go fuck himself. And I'm not paraphrasing. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And it's like, how could you expect to, like, the difference between Keyes and Ackerman, although if I remember right, Ackerman said that he used to serve.
Yeah.
Which I guess I find really, really weird because...
Yeah, because Chief says to him, it's nice to have someone who served to work with us.
Yeah, and that's really weird because Keyes also used to serve, but he feels very differently about it. Like, they almost take, like, the idea, Ackerman running with the idea of pragmatism, and then just dialing that up to 11, almost into, like, pure cynicism.
Yeah, borderline, cynicism, nihilism shit.
So basically, Ackerman and all of the quote-unquote essential people, again, rich and powerful, all leave Reach to, for everyone else to just fucking die.
Which is how it would happen in real life.
That's how it's going to happen.
Yep.
So then we cut to Perrin Goski. Turns out she never left the OSI. She's in the OSI, and she's basically been misleading Chief this whole time because the gaslighting of Chief will continue.
Again. I just what point? I guess I understand the level of having her being like a spy to just figure out what he's thinking, but like, why would you show your cards at the end of that? Like,
it's not going to matter next episode.
Because how did she think that, like, even if she thought she was a smooth talker, how did you think in like, what world would her decision be after he tells her everything he does and how he feels about ONI? Why would he be like, go back, you know what, go back and work from the inside and keep your head down and don't cause any trouble.
Kiss all the asses you can.
Kiss all the asses and get their trust and then
you'll get a medal.
Make your move. And then he's pretty much like, oh... So and then I actually like this moment of him being like, how long have you been, or did you ever really leave the ONI? Like, him figuring out. And then, like you said, a fake out completely, because all these other guys, like, he clocks one of them, so then that's how he knows that she's a spy. And then you see, like, 3 or 4 guys come out to fight him, and you're like, oh, maybe we're going to see Chief.
That's cute.
Chief fight out of his suit. This would be kind of cool to see him, like, and it, gives Pablo something to do outside of the suit. Nope. He just walks out.
Again, it's not a fight. It's a fucking massacre.
But I would want to see it. And I know people would bitch and be like, well, why are we seeing Chief do this outside of his suit? I'm like, I don't care. I think it would be cool. But it's just wasted opportunity. And I just don't get it. It's like the show, I see them trying. I see them trying to make a better show. But then they still weigh themselves down by not just fucking committing to something. You're not going to have Chief in his suit? Fine. Make him do something cool outside of his suit then.
But also,
he's an action star.
But I feel like all of this Parangowski bullshit has just been completely pointless. Like,
what a waste. Why would you reveal that so early?
It's not even why would you reveal it. Like, if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, they could have cut this and you never would have known the difference. Like, for a minute there, you felt like, oh, he had a confidant, someone he could, like, try to help work his way through the inside.
Sparks. Psst, I know how you make that. I know how you make it worth a while on the show.
Oh.
You have a fucking fight scene. You have a climactic end to that. Because if you're going to close that loop, put a period on it, or
unless he's decking her, I don't see it. Again, you wasted all of our time. That's not even like a payoff.
But at least I'd get something out. Like for me, maybe not you, but for me, I would get something out of it with him having a actual fight scene and like doing something cool.
Oh, I'm sure that'll be in the next episode, him doing all the fighting. That's not what this episode was.
I guarantee you that episode, we'll save it at the end of the show, end of this show, because we'll give our predictions for episode 4.
So we leave all of that melodrama, and then we go to another brand of it with Ackerson chatting with Halsey. Basically him gloating before leaving her to die in the invasion. And then there's this great reveal that they actually kind of revealed earlier in the episode, was that the girl that they've been tormenting Halsey with, who's a Flash clone that just keeps fucking dying, her name Julia, it's actually a Flash clone of his sister, who was part of the Spartan program and died during the augmentations done by Halsey.
Which, again, a very effective scene, because in that scene where you've been hating Ackerman for a while, and you view the idea is there for him to be the main villain, but then Halsey still comes in, and it's funny because you're seeing these two characters with like the biggest of egos constantly butt heads, and so she has to get the last word on him and say like. And yeah. I don't think she felt remorse about Julia. I think she was just saying that to dig the knife in him.
No, it's funny because the whole moment was about each other trying to like get that one final, just that jab, because he's doing all of this to fuck with her. Basically, everything you've done, it's all going to be the base for everything, and she turns that around on him.
You gave us the foundation.
Yeah. But what's really interesting to me is it turns out that Halsey is not a complete monster, because she actually remembers every person who was in the Spartan program. Like, I know, like, you can like go on and paint her as a sociopath, and I think it's been a little bit more nuanced since season 1.
Well, and you could say that's because that's a clone too. Yeah, because this is the real Halsey, apparently.
Well, yeah. Well, no, the sociopathy goes way deeper than that. I mean, kidnapping kids was...
No, yeah, she's still a villain. She's still but I think, okay, I can kind of see, I didn't pick up on this, but I think this is an interesting perspective.
Like, I think there's actually a lot more nuance, where I actually think, where we took a lot of, this idea that Halsey was a complete monster in season 1, and then we start out season 1 with Ackerman, and I think in this scene, they kind of switched places a little bit, where Ackerman kind of became the bigger villain, and Halsey actually became a little bit more sympathetic, got a little more humanity about her in all of this. I mean, and they really tried to drive it home in season 1 that everything she was doing was actually for the good of everyone. She just knew that there were a lot of moral chunks being taken out of her soul. Again, I'm not justifying the decisions.
I just find it funny that, because I do agree, but for me, I kind of had a different read on it. I had a read on it that she was, because I think what you're saying, I think that's a good observation of it, but I think there is that other layer of her being. I have to, like you said, we have to one up each other, and I kind of liked it. It was fun to have this like little rivalry, and yeah, I felt like Halsey, in my opinion, became more the villain. But then, when the scene ends, I'm like, oh, Ackerman, that was awesome. Like I was like, oh, okay. Like again, I'm invested.
But
you're giving me a confrontation I want.
But everything Ackerman's been doing in regards to Halsey, like everything Halsey has done up until her little tantrum at the end of season 1, has been pure altruism. She's doing everything in the service of something else.
But she's still kidding.
Everything we're seeing him do, especially to her,
is
complete and utter pettiness.
But I still don't think that what she did. And I know you're not defending it, but what I'm saying is she still did that. She still kidnapped those kids. She still made those clones that would die and even make it even more traumatic and have parents of these kids that die.
Yeah.
No, and again,
it's not she's not, her soul isn't saved here. The larger point here is between the two of them, he's actually worse. She's not as bad, because she actually still carries the weight of her actions inside, but doesn't let it define her.
Okay. I understand your perspective, and I do agree with you on a level that Ackerman is clearly more evil here, because him bringing in Soren,
it's petty.
Is petty as shit, and I fucking love it because that makes him a villain.
But everything he's done here. Again, it goes back to, I don't think I had the same read on Halsey as you did, and you might be right, but my interpretation on it was she, again, remembered that because of, like, she had to drive that home with Julia, and the fact that I don't think it was because she was hurt by it. I think she was just doing it to fuck with him. Oh, it's never been that she's hurt by it, but the fact that she still actually carries that, because a sociopath, they would have just let the kid die, and that was the end of it. So the fact that she actually still carries it with her.
Yeah, that she tried to clone. Okay.
Yeah, like, and the fact that
you gotta see that,
and everything that she's been through in this little torture cell with the fucking pomegranate tree, there's a level of remorse to it, because it's a story that she's carried with her, and then seeing it burned, it's like your greatest hits of of dickery being played out in front of you.
However, because of her own actions and her choices, I can, in some level, in some way, not fully, because he is clearly being a petty, evil person here, but like I said earlier, he has a vendetta against her and against this program because he lost his sister. Yeah, and I, on some level, understand why he treats her the way he does, because of her choice to fucking kidnap his sister.
Oh, okay.
And then she died.
See,
and he was lied to about her.
See, and that's the interesting thing. If it was kidnapped, then you would know, because even his father knew that she was dead and the mom was dead, but he knew, which either means that he ascended to the levels, but there would be a level of clearance that would come with that too. And I think
it's because he talked to Cortana. I think Cortana told him.
Possibly.
Why wouldn't she?
Show, don't tell.
But see, this right here shows that there's some level of good writing in this show, that there's two characters that we spent so much time talking about, just talking to each other. It's possible.
The difference is, like, the growth in Halsey is, like, again, really nuanced, where everything they're doing with Ackerson is just petty. Like, especially with this chief gaslighting and leaving the vast majority of people of Reach to die.
And lying about, or not telling anybody about the Cobalt team actually being dead, lying, saying they're missing.
And then on top of that, okay, so bringing the Soren thing full around here. So bear in mind that Soren has been out in the wind for decades. And clearly, it has never really bothered the UNSC. Until Ackerman got
They went after him just to have him have that confrontation with Halsey.
So once again,
petty,
and why? This is like some degree of like, oh my God.
because he's driven by emotion, not by logic. It's all because of Ackerman.
And
He could give a shit less what the Covenant really does.
clearly, and that's what's and I think that's where
An interesting
we see,
villain.
and that's where we see the switch off. You would come out of season 1 thinking that Halsey was the goddamn devil, but then we get into season 2 and we get somebody who is clearly much more morally bankrupt than her. Again, her shit's not good, but his is worse because she's doing hers in service. His is just for fucking pettiness and vengeance.
And then the end of that too, with him visiting his father before he leaves to kind of tell him, "Hey, it's happening. We're gonna lose Reach." And he said, "You remember what I told you to never," or his dad says, "You remember what I told you?" And he says to never let them take you alive.
Yeah. Well, so that's actually this is the so-called backstory for Ackerson. So apparently his dad is suffering from some sort of like Alzheimer's or dementia or senility.
Which
Not really sure.
It's touched on in the last episode.
Well, and he had said in this one that he was senile. So that might be it. I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to delve into that. But then they kind of like mirror that with the way that he's gaslighting Chief with this idea that he's not himself. And he actually kind of like brings it around when he's talking with Kai somewhere about the middle of the episode. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, well, sometimes, people, they change and they're not
They don't
anymore.
come back, is what he said.
Yeah. Fuck you, man. You've been gaslighting him this entire time. Like
He's been right the whole way, and you know that.
Yeah.
But you're gaslighting him.
Yeah. They're basically taking his experience with his father, and they're like trying to apply it to Chief. And I think it just feels really forced and awkward. Like they try to do this like this sympathy angle, but then they completely undercut it with his pettiness. And it's really bothersome because we've only known Ackerson for the better part of 3 episodes, and I feel like if we haven't really gotten enough time to sit with it, it just comes off cheap.
Mm.
But anyway, so that builds up, and then after the whole interaction with Halsey, he goes and he euthanizes his father before the invasion starts because you don't let them take him alive. Yeah. And before he does that, he brings in a final Julia clone to die next to him. Like
what a fucking weirdo, man.
Yeah. Like I said, you can hate Halsey all you want, but I think
No, yeah, Ackerman's a piece of shit and I love it. Like I said, I like it. He's a villain that I really want to see get his ass kicked. And it's effective.
Yeah, so all of this is going on. And then we cut back to Chief after the Parangoski situation. He catches up to Perez at a church. And it turns out that strange message that we've kind of been alluding to all episode, maybe since Sanctuary, is actually a prayer, a kind of warning from the Covenant that they're coming to kill them. She's basically decoded that. I have some weird questions on this one. Starting with the fact, obviously they've firmly established that Perez was in communications because they can't shoot worth a damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So in season 1,
that's a good point. Yeah, that would make sense. How she would figure that out.
Yeah, Miranda could barely understand Sangheili, and she was one of their alien specialists. She had to bring in the Spartans to break down it based on their interactions with grunts.
Yeah.
Why in the name of hell can Perez just like understand this fluently?
Yeah, you got to suspend your disbelief for that one.
Apparently.
I don't have a good. Truthfully, I don't have a good retort to that because, I don't.
In 6 months,
you're right. It doesn't make sense.
In 6 months, we've just handed around a guidebook on Sangheili. Apparently, but at the end of that,
I will say I did like this interaction a lot.
No, it was nice. At the end of that message was a name, Vargatanai. Basically, the Covenant big bad coming to fuck shit up on Reach.
I'll bring you the head of the demon.
Yeah, and he is death and all of that. And actually, I had read this somewhere online, and I think it's an interesting thing to consider. Could Vargatanai be the silver timeline arbiter?
That is what I thought. That is what I thought when he was talking. I was like, this is how they're gonna do their version of the Arbiter, is what I was thinking.
Now
And
the names are completely different because Vargat and I is the bad here, and then in the games it's Stel Vadam, or however the hell you pronounce it.
it could just be a big bad, but that's exactly where my head went. I even thought they were going to end it with saying when he says and I think this is intentional, but is when he says I am, and then it says death.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pause, and I was like, I am the arbiter, as I thought what they were going to say.
You were just looking for it.
I was like, because I mean, it's such an easy Easter egg, and then and just I just was like, oh no, we're not doing that. Okay, so it makes me think that they may not do it, but I would not be surprised if this is how they do their arbiter.
Yeah. And also during that, we do get a clip of Vanek. He goes to his locker and he grabs a brown paper bag of something, and then he stares at the board for some reason. I don't know what's going on there.
I guess it's a cobalt thing.
He saw something. I don't know if he was like wondering about cobalt.
That would be I think that's the implication.
It must have been. I wasn't really sure, but I took a second to look at it. Like, there were more Spartan teams than I had realized, because we had Cobalt, Silver, Gold, Blue, Omega, Alpha. There's more that we haven't been talking about. That's cool.
I was really bummed that they were dead, though. I was like, really?
Yeah.
We're going to have more Spartans this season. What the fuck?
Maybe they'll come in later. A couple of them are on active deployment.
Well, I am legit interested in what they're going to do with episode 4, especially how this episode ends.
So then the episode ends with the first bomb falling, which, okay, I'm not Covenant. Minor critique here. Why not just start glassing immediately? Why drop a bomb?
Why even give them a chance? Yeah, what the fuck?
Gotcha.
Hey guys, we're coming.
Yep, just glass.
We've clearly shown we can annihilate you with our advanced technology. But we want to give you a chance.
Yeah, so that was the breadth of the Reach plot for the episode. Now, naturally, with every good, substantial plot, meaty, easily digestible, there must be, of course, the fat to chew, aka the Quan plot.
Oh God, I didn't even have it pulled up.
Nope, that's okay. I feel like we're gonna end up overdoing it if we did.
Well, come on, we gotta do it every time. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll put it in.
So anyway,
I was gonna try and pull it up on my phone.
Yep. So we cut to the rubble, and I'm gonna abbreviate this one as fast as I can. Basically, Soren's wife Lara, she runs into Quan while walking through the town, and Quan tells her that she's not safe. Fucking duh. Anybody with half a brain could have figured that out. She fills her in on the danger that she and Kessler are in, because Ruby Ann bought their crew, and their crew is going to turn on them and try to... Actually, what really cracks me up is it's all about that treasure that he got from Madra... God, I want to say Madripool, but that's X-Men.
Madrigal.
See, too many Madrigal. Just a box full of deuterium coins. But they're, fucking pissy about it because he barely pays them.
What are we doing?
Well, you know what? I'm actually going to take Soren's side on this one. You motherfuckers didn't do anything, so why should you get paid?
Yeah. But again, what? I just don't fucking care.
It pads the runtime.
I don't care at all about any of this.
So, Soren's former crew, you have Antares and Karina, and Antares actually seems like, at least in the initial points, like he might be not a terrible guy, but Karina is just kind of a dickhead. Like, just the most murderous bitch you ever did see. Not an ounce of humanity in her.
Bloodthirsty, man. Just bloodthirsty.
Apparently. But so they try to, like, capture Liera and Kessler at their home, basically trying to, like, bait them to come to the ship, because, yeah, we definitely won't stab you, but since Liera is already in on the jig, she's like, no, I'll meet you there. Gotta get my shit. Cool. Then Quan comes from the shadows, and they all escape together, and then they try to blend in with the refugees, and this is what really cracked me the fuck up, because you've got Kessler wearing his dad's fucking Spartan helmet. Motherfucker, you're going to stand out.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you bring that?
Okay, so here's what makes me laugh. I hated so much of this because I'm like, what the fuck? Because my thing was like, I feel like this whole episode we're gonna focus on a little bit of Halsey here. We're gonna get a lot of Ackerman shit. We're gonna keep building to what episode 4 is. Great. I can't there's no purpose for any of this shit at all. At all. You could argue, like, well, maybe we've got to connect Soren's family getting back to... I don't fucking care. I don't care. I just don't fucking care. Quan makes no fucking sense in this season. Just about as much sense as he made in the first season.
All right. Hang on with me here.
Like, none of this matters.
Okay, I'm gonna insert a headcanon, and we're gonna check on this later on. I think it's a matter of convenience because Lyra and Quan know that Soren got captured by the UNSC. They know that much. So they're going to go try to get him, which means they're going to reach. And
maybe they'll die at Reach, is what you're saying?
No. It's worse. Oh,
no, she's going to join Chief.
Yep, they're all going to link back up together at a really convenient point in time.
Oh, my God. If that happens, then the Covenant can fucking glass me. I'm out.
Yep. So getting back to whatever this bullshit is.
I'm sorry. I just hate it.
She escapes with Quan. They blend with the incoming refugees. They manage to get onto Soren's ship. They try to escape, but Antares shuts the bay door just in time. And, of course, Lyra... Everybody knows how to fly ships. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's kind of convenient that everybody... It's just like driving a car. Everybody just knows how to do it.
Sure. Everybody knows how to drive.
I guess that's their justification. Like at this point, humanity has figured out space travel, so I guess it's just like
everybody
knows
everybody other's cars.
It's pretty much.
So Lyra decides to send Quan and Kessler to get onto another ship, and then Quan decides to ditch Kessler and go save Lyra, who's currently being suffocated by Antares and Karina while they're trying to get the fucking deuterium from her, the little box of it. Motherfucker.
Can I just say, all of this scene I already was against and didn't want to watch anyway, and I was frustrated because I'm like, what are we doing? That's when Paramount decides to have a glitch. And I've been really annoyed with Paramount all night long because inside little behind the curtain here, dear listener, I fell asleep watching this episode, and I was fighting falling asleep, but once Quan showed up, I fell asleep. So I'm already mad that when I have to finish watching this episode to do the show, I have to sit through the Quan shit again. And then the fucking app glitches out. So, like, when she is in that, the thing where it's taking out her oxygen, Paramount Plus, because I have the ad tier, has the weirdest edit of all time where she's sitting there like she's running out of air and then there's just blood on the screen on the window part, right? Cuts to an ad. So I'm like, oh, that was weird. What a weird edit. Get out of the ad. Okay, here we go. Back to where I was. No, it jumps back 15 freaking minutes from where I paused it in the first place so I could put my son to bed. I was like... That I had more fun talking about that than what actually happened in the episode. Because I just don't care about this shit. It's stupid.
Actually,
it's a waste of my time.
Out of curiosity, because I thought this was more of a problem with my smart TV. What smart TV are you using?
I have like a Vizio 4K.
Okay. What's the OS?
I couldn't tell you.
No. So I have a Fire TV. And
yeah,
I thought,
this is just from the TV. Yeah, it's like its own. Like Vizio has their own like smart TV apps and shit. So it's just directly from that.
Maybe it's just a thing with the Fire TV app. But if you're having it, no, it's just a shit app.
No, it's just a shit. When I use it on my PS4, it's still shit out really bad. When I use it on my smart TV, it's shit out real bad. So yeah, it's just a dog shit app.
See, mine's always really funny about it because I'll be okay for the first however long until the first commercial break. I'll go to the commercial and then I'll come back and it cuts back about 15 minutes. 15 goddamn minutes.
Oh, and then sometimes they make you go through the ad tier again. I'm like, or the ad part. I'm like, what are you talking about? I already seen this. I already did this. And I had to restart the episode one time just so I could just get back to where I was because it just played through when I fell asleep. So that was whatever. But I tried to pause it. It wouldn't pause. So then I backed out of the episode. It said how much time I had left. I was like, oh, cool. It remembered. I click on it. It started the episode over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you got to be better. Your show has got to be amazing for me to deal with your stupid app. And it's just not cutting it here with the Quan shit. Oh, and they try to make her a badass in this episode, and it doesn't work because...
Turns out in 6 months, she became a hell of a killer.
Well, because all that cool stuff, like with her tapping on the pipe to make the noise and each of them goes in, was like a very like video gamey kind of thing, and I kind of thought it was funny a little bit. But have that scene, but then she goes, "Where's my son?" And she's like, "Oh, I fucking left him."
Honestly, I think I'm actually okay with that one.
What's the kid gonna do?
Not be killed on Reach?
I can't. Well, that's true.
Like, it gets him out of the way, and honestly, it's just a dead weight character, so it's
True.
okay. Like, later on, like, even if they have to
I'm just saying that kid dies, it's on her.
Oh, he'll be fine. He's going to a fucking refugee camp somewhere. It's basically like a sleepaway camp.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point, I guess.
So, yeah, Quan...
Again, I wasn't paying that much attention because I fucking hated it.
Yeah, so Quan kills them all, saves Lyra, and they decide either to go get Kessler or Soren. I'm not really sure which one. I don't care enough to look again. And that was episode 3. Ta-da. I don't...
Yeah, sorry, I don't even know what to say after that. You really brought my mood down because I totally was thinking we might have avoided talking about it at all. And then you made me have to relive it, and I'm still mad about it, okay?
I nothing it. I don't care.
I think if we're going to grade this episode, I would give it a C+. I think well, I take that back. B-. Because the things that I liked worked really well, but there's just things that I'm not even going to talk about the Quan stuff because I've bitched enough about it. But I think that kind of brought it down a little bit for me because I really wanted to focus on what's happening on Reach.
I go with a C. The Quan stuff kind of brings it down. I think the Ackerman stuff kind of brings it down. I think it was just really hammy and overplayed. Like they could have organically spent time trying to build what kind of a villain he is, and instead we did it in such an abbreviated time that it all just seems really fucking petty.
I don't know, man. I think that's why I kind of love it.
Feels lazy.
I don't know.
And I get it. It's an 8-episode season, so...
And it's a new character. You have to find a reason to hate him quickly.
Apparently.
So prediction-wise, clearly we're going to have the fall of Reach here.
Oh, yeah, everybody's getting fucking glassed.
Yeah. Do we, prediction-wise, do we think that we were going to see... Because you and I think we might have talked about this. Do you think Vanek is actually going to die in this episode? Because he's the one who's had the least amount to do this season. And last season.
I don't know. I feel like they're really just setting Riz up to die.
Yeah, I think I could see that too. I could see Riz over Vanek just because, yeah, they gave her more.
I'm really struggling with this relationship between Kai and Chief.
Yeah,
it borders on platonic, and then it keeps doing these weird little dives.
Yeah, there is some sexual tension. I think
there's something, and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe not sexual. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it is a weird vibe for sure. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's a little weird. And I'm sure we'll get something out of it. But
fuck it. God damn it! Do we need to put the pellets back in, people?
Well, I think it. Yeah, maybe. I think it's also interesting too that we have all that build up. We have this, and I'm wondering how they're going to do it because we're going to have to get to a point. And I'm wondering if this whole one shot thing is going to be focused on Chief getting to his armor, and if that is the case, that would be pretty cool.
Uh,
Because you'd have to think because I've seen shots like in that trailer where him and Silver Team are fighting outside of their armor, but you'd have to think they would get into their armor at some point.
mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if like that whole thing is following him to get to Silver Team, which actually I think would be a cool concept.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, we've removed the obvious. We've removed the obvious bad. I think what's going to be really interesting is the reuniting of Soren and Silver Team.
Yeah, because we saw that coming too with him just being on Reach. But
And I think
that would be that's exciting. I was gonna say that did excite me.
Well, and he's going to be in that like this really awkward position of like having to actually try to evacuate Halsey while hating her.
But man, it'll be so cool when he's fighting next to Chief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, I'm into that, and I it says more about what they're doing with this season versus season 1, where I think there is good on this. I think the writing is better. You and I both said like the writing's there. Like we're starting to I think they finally figured it out. Like, hey, they're still learning because there's still all the Quan and the stuff on the rubble, but like the things that we wanted to see more of, we're gonna get a little bit more of Soren. We're gonna get a little bit more. We're gonna of Silver Team, more Spartans.
Wait, a little bit more. Who?
Soren.
Played by.
Oh yeah, of course, the great actor Bokeem Woodbine, wonderful actor.
And that's your one for the day.
Yep, at least once an episode for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like those, it's just, but still, there's just things that they start to focus on. I'm like, why are we doing this? But it's to pad a runtime where it's like, well, we need something here. So Chief is gonna have dinner with with Perez's family, or we're gonna spend all this time figuring out why Soren's crew betrayed him when in reality we don't really care that much.
Because they're petty and they're pirates.
Yes, they're fucking criminals. They're thieves. Of course they would betray him. I don't need to make that mental leap.
Honestly, their reason for doing all of this being a little box of deuterium coins is really funny to me.
And like you said, they didn't do shit.
Nope.
He got all the stuff, like, whatever. But, yeah, I think it'll be real interesting, and I wonder... I think this is a crucial episode, man. I really do. I think this is where I think we're probably either going to continue to enjoy the season or be like, really, that's it? But...
Well, I mean, they've been hyping the hell out of it, that's for sure. That's the one episode they've been talking.
And this has been the one that has been like this episode in particular, I think, has been the one that's been the most like prominently featured because there's the poster with him with all the like ash and stuff from Reach, and it says like defend Reach or some shit like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, this is the middle of the season. This is the hat that they're gonna hang the entire season on. I wouldn't be surprised to see like the Battle of Reach extend over like 3 episodes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a one and done for sure. I think
I would say I would give you 2, but 3 might be pushing it.
No, I'm gonna go 3. I think it feels about right, and then 4 is like a recovery, hopeful, upbeat before we launch into the next season. I think that feels about right, because I don't think there's much else they can do after that. We're obviously going to get the Cortana reuniting.
I feel like they are going to lean a little bit on like the superhero action movie third act finale. We have to have a big third act fight. So I don't know if they're going to like. I feel like there's going to be something in that final episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you said would probably be the most logical approach, but I don't know. I would hope that what you're saying is right, because then that'd be like, oh, that was a pretty solid season. But we'll see.
But yeah, like I said, and obviously, like I said, we get to look forward to the reuniting of Cortana and Chief. I mean, we can't not have that. That's not how this works.
And I'm really interested to see if they're gonna do that as the arbiter or not too, because that's That's immediately where my head went. But
And if I have to wager, they're obviously going to make some try to play for the other half of the artifact.
oh yeah, fuck, that's in this too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's inevitably how we wind up seeing Cortana and Chief get reunited, is them like defending the artifact piece. I mean, those two things being so close together can't be coincidence. Little Chekhov's gun.
I mean, again, I'm looking forward to seeing Chief back in the suit and Silver Team.
They've barely been out of the suit.
I know, but I like it. It's cool. Okay. I want to see Master Chief in the armor. Dang it.
Yeah, and you're gonna see it with a bunch of fire and smoke, so that they can occlude the, the CG.
Yeah, I guess because we can't figure out a way to make someone convincingly run fast.
Not on a budget.
I guess not. Last season they had $100 million. I got you know what? Just because I'm petty like Ackerman, I have to figure out and see if I can find the budget for season 2. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the fall of Reach and damn it, I thought I could get it by now. I was trying to. It says between $200 and $250 million. So there you go.
It's not an insignificant chunk of change.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe
but Sparks,
maybe less than a Disney Plus show.
You and I will be back next week to discuss the fall of Reach.
Unless you take some sort of capsule after seeing too much Quan.
And the episode is actually just called Reach, so there you go. We'll be back to review Reach on Halo PODST, and what do we always say at the end of these things?
At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go into the same box.
Yeah.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.